Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be building the proboscis monkey habitat, which I've actually taken a fair bit of inspiration from my capuchin monkey habitat that I built off screen in DLC Zoo. So first of all, I just want to say a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers, because I've got quite a few new subscribers thanks to Paul's shout out the other day. So thanks a lot, mate, for that if you're watching. I really appreciate it. It was completely unexpected and it was just a really nice gesture, so thank you so much. But yeah, if you're new to my channel, I thought I'd just, take a bit of time during this video to kind of just introduce myself as well, and just, talk a little bit about like what you can sort of expect from me. So yeah, essentially, my name is Slady Gaming, and I play a lot of games. I do play like a fair bit of building games like Planet Zoo, but I also am a big fan of first-person shooters too, and deception games, so you might see that on my channel from time to time. Also, with Planet Zoo, my main pet project, as Paulsley said, is rightly Alphabet Zoo. So a bit about Alphabet Zoo. Essentially, I started it in August last year, so God, nearly going a year now with this. God knows. And essentially, I always build my zoos in franchise mode. So I wanted to actually, for a while, I'd imagined, I want to build a zoo with all the animals in alphabetical order. And I started to build it, but it was such a colossal task. As I said, I've been building this since August last year. So I decided, I'm going to start recording the videos just to kind of, keep my momentum up for building, because I was losing a little bit of like interest in it. So I started to build the zoo, and I started recording, I think, from the letter G, that's what you'll see. In kind of like the playlist is that they start from like the gems block habitat, I think. So yeah, so this is Alphabet Zoo. It is my labor of love and my pet project, and I'm determined to finish this even if my computer doesn't want me to finish it. And essentially it's, as I said, pretty much what it says on the box. It's just all the animals that are going to be in the game, and like there's not going to be any theming. It's just me building whatever the hell I want. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to build it. So some of the habitats are kind of individually themed, but there's no like rhyme or reason to what's happened. I don't tend to plan things either. Like the most I'll plan is like, what is this zoo? What's going to be in the zoo? What are the animals? And then usually I just kind of build whatever. So yeah, if you like someone who doesn't like to plan a lot, then you're in the right place. So yeah, the kind of things I build, I have a rule that I don't build things that just for the sake of it. I do it because like I want to build it, and because it's something that I will enjoy building. So you won't necessarily, like, you'll see me doing like replicas of things if it's something that interests me, but most of the time I just like letting my creativity flow and just going a bit crazy with it and just seeing what happens. So that's what Alphabet Zoo is all about. We are currently actually on the letter S with Alphabet Zoo, if you're just tuning in now. So there's like quite a lot of videos to catch up on. And essentially, we've had to go back in time a little bit, just because I wanted to include the otters, and I wanted to include the proboscis monkey and stuff like that, and there was space for it. So I thought, well, there is space for these animals, so under the Alphabet Zoo rules they should be included. So we've kind of gone back in time to just sort of add these kind of where they can fit. There are a few caveats to the rule. So generally we're following the Zoopedia. We're going with the names that are in the Zoopedia. However, there are a few caveats, and one of those is the zebra. So I decided, zebras, if you're having an Alphabet Zoo, they're always going to be at the end, because Z is at the end. So, it's going to be, the zebras are going to be at the end, because to me, it's not a plain zebra, it's just a zebra. Like, they could have gone with different species, but they didn't. So we've just got plain zebras instead of like, the greavy zebras or the short mane zebra. They just went for like a plain zebra, which I thought was a little bit like kind of, unimaginative. So we're going to go along with that and keep it unimaginative and have the zebra at the very end. So that will be the last one. Yeah, so that's kind of what you can expect from me, really. I usually build everything in franchise mode because I really like franchise mode. I just like the challenge of having to make money at the same time. And I don't know, it's just, I feel like in sandbox mode everything's too easy. With Alphabet Zoo, I was originally actually working towards the Zoopedia achievement, but then I had to delete the franchise zoo file because basically my computer, as you will see in the cinematics, is chugging with this. It really does not like it. So every time I load this zoo, I'm pretty sure my computer is like screaming at me like, God no, stop, because yeah, it's a very big file. I would love to do a tour at the end of it, but I just don't think my computer can hack it, to be honest. Like, we'll have to see. I've had to turn the graphics down now from this habitat onwards to like the lowest settings just to be able to like build anything. So yeah, it's getting more difficult to build. I'm hoping we'll finish it. I'm determined to finish it. As I said, I've been working on it since August last year, so you know, I don't want to just give up on it now. But it could get to a point with the zoo where I just can't finish it. So just because my computer won't run it. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But yeah, we're actually in sandbox mode now rather than franchise, just because like it was just too difficult to load in franchise mode, and I was losing money in franchise mode, so we moved it into sandbox. So that's why we're building in sandbox now, and DLC Zoo is now my new franchise. So yeah, with this habitat, I decided to kind of have a feature bridge as part of it, which is what you're seeing me build now. It's all completely custom built, and I made these fan things and decided they look nice, and decided to try out what, like, just putting them in random orientations, and it really worked. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to stick with it and make the kind of habitat like this kind of whole theme. So that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing me build out these platforms, just continuing this theming on. As I said, my habitats tend to be themed in this zoo because I just sort of, you know, I just take whatever I fancy building really and like run with it from there. So yeah, that's kind of what you're seeing. So things that I like to do a lot of is kind of like, you know, plant work. I really enjoy kind of making very realistic, very pretty looking like vegetation in my zoos. So you can expect to see a lot of that. And yeah, that's kind of like Alphabet Zoo really. You know, the best way I think you can find out about it is by going and watching the rest of the videos if you like what you see here, because it's very similar to this. And it's a labor of love. Like, the big issue I have is I've realized that I can't do more than one like project, or one or two projects with life and everything in the way. Like, you know, I have a full-time job. I like to play games with my friends in the evening. I also, like, when we're not in lockdown, like to have a social life and do things at the weekends. So this is about as much as I can manage at the moment. And I'm aiming to have, you know, 1 or 2 videos out a week. 1 video, definitely. 2 videos if I'm feeling adventurous and have very little going on in my life. So like that's kind of like the schedule you can expect really. Sometimes I'll upload other random things which I find quite funny and my friends find quite funny. So if you don't find that funny, I apologize. There might be some kind of in-jokes in there, but yeah. So yeah, back to the habitat. So yeah, I kept the theming with these like towers as well. I built them a little climbing frame just because I wanted to be able to see them like climb around, and I was hoping that they could get through that kind of gap that's in the corner over there, so they can climb from the water directly into their indoor area. And again, just trying to make it like a lot, like just make it a bit more interesting, and just so it's not like just a boring climbing frame really. They can actually use all of the like the towers and like the fan things, like the shell fan things that we have. So yeah, in fact, actually, a lot of the inspiration for this habitat came from a habitat that I have built previously. So, funnily enough, Paulsley in the video that I got a shout out in that he did, actually mentioned that his favourite habitat was my Himalayan bear pit habitat. So I got some inspiration from my previous habitat for this, which is it's another very concrete based habitat. It's using a lot of the concrete stone pillars. They're probably one of my favourite pieces in the game actually, because they're so versatile. And I decided I would continue that theme with the proboscis monkey habitat, and just maybe do something with the stone pillars again, because it worked really well the last time. And again, it sort of sticks with the sort of some of the kind of like theming that is Alphabet Zoo. Like, there is a very distinctive kind of Alphabet Zoo theme, I would say, in the sense that, you know, every habitat is built specifically for the animals that are in it, and it's themed around those animals rather than like having zones per se, like an African or an American zone. Like DLC Zoo is actually broken up into the DLC zones, so we're going to have, like, you know, a desert zone, there's a rainforest zone, which is what I'm currently working on. So whereas this is just, you know, theming by habitat, and, you know, I love my plant work. I really, really do love building plant work, and I think, like, not to toot my own horn, but I think I'm quite good at plant work, and that's why I like doing it, because I like to do things that I feel like I'm good at, you know. So yeah. So yeah, when it comes to my videos, I started making videos for me, really, just to record what I was doing, so I could, like, I could showcase to my friends and family, like, look, this is one of my hobbies. I spend time building, like, imaginary zoos. Look, if you want to go look at what I've done here, but I'm not going to force you to look at my zoo every day. It's just a way of, like, just kind of showcasing what I can do, and also for my own records of how much I improve and don't improve. So yeah, like, subscriber wise, like, I'm amazed at how many people have subscribed, and I worry that maybe people's expectations of the kind of stuff that I build might be a bit different to what I actually do build, because I just sort of kind of build what I want, and that is very much a rule that I stick to, is if I don't enjoy building it, I'm not going to build it, and I won't show it you. I'll only show you the stuff that gets completed. And I don't really do live videos so much. If I'm doing tutorials, there'll be live videos, and if I'm doing playthroughs of, like, the scenarios, there'll be live videos, but they'll be mostly speed builds, because they're the easiest to edit, they're the easiest to make, and, you know, I just start building a habitat and that's it, you know. As I said, you know, I have a full-time job, and at the moment my job is very quiet, so I actually have a bit more time to make videos, but when it gets, like, picks up, like, we sort of deal with incidents and things at work, so there could be times when I won't have time to make videos, and I'm struggling to get ahead a bit with the videos at the moment, just because of work. I usually like to have all my videos, like, planned out, like, months in advance, but I can't do that at the moment. So yeah, that's what you kind of expect, really, with the videos if you're a new subscriber, and obviously welcome. And I hope you, like, find my content useful and at least enjoy it somewhat, I guess. So yeah, we're just sort of coming to the end of, like, the planting bit now of this habitat. And you'll see in a minute with the cinematics just how, like, janky my computer is and how slow it is at the moment. It's really sad, because, again, I've put my heart and soul into the zoo. Oh, here we go. And I can't even enjoy the animals running around at it. They just are like this. This is what it's like now. And I've now had to, this isn't even on the lowest settings, now I'm on the lowest of the low settings, and it still does this, so it's just, yeah, janky monkey jumping around. Super fun, but this is, you know, this is all part and parcel of it. I'm sure there's people out there who have similar issues with Planet Zoo, not running properly, but yeah. Anyway, that was the habitat. I know I didn't really talk too much about the habitat this time, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gives you some new ideas, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.